Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope this week has gotten off to a good start for you. We're just getting hotter and hotter and hotter here. It is going to be a long, brutal summer. We're already seeing temperatures in the upper 90s this week, so pretty soon after this, I'm going out to buy some more watermelon. But today I want to talk about how I think you should question everything on a raw vegan diet. I scroll through Instagram quite regularly and I see raw vegan content out there. And quite frankly, I'm just being honest, not trying to be judgmental. It's just crazy is crazy to me. But I must roll my eyes at least 50 times with some of the stuff that I see over there. And it just really drives it home that all I really want to do through this channel is empower you to take control of things yourself. I want you to, I appreciate you following me in the sense of following me on social media, and I appreciate you giving me your time and attention, but I don't want you to follow me as like I'm leading somewhere, I have all the answers or whatever. You've got everything that you need within you to figure this thing out. And I'll even go so far as to say, like, this raw vegan lifestyle, so I'm coming up on 10 years now. Actually, I am at 10 years now. It's always seemed a little too personality based on people more so than people actually digging in and figuring out for themselves how they need to be eating. And that's just never made that much sense to me. I mean, if I'm going to fanboy or get into somebody, it's going to be probably an athlete, a rapper, any other number of things that I'm interested in other than just like finding some raw vegan and making them my celebrity and ensue and just following everything they say. I would go so far as to say too, that about a year and a half, maybe 2 years into this, you've got to be your own person. If you're still looking to those other people after 1 year, 2 years, to tell you everything to do, to explain everything to you, how do I eat this, how do I make that, well, you're kind of missing the point. That's what I like about this lifestyle is, like I say, I just kind of figured out a simple way to do it, and I just keep doing that over and over and over. I try to continually educate myself, and, I try to use the things and I pay attention to what I put into my body, how it makes me feel, and I try to be a little patient with it too. You have to give it a little bit of time. You can't just jump from one thing to the other. But yeah, like I say, I've never had a person, I've never had a guru. Once again, some of the things I see out there, I'm like, how many people are really falling for this stuff? The other day I was noticing like how many people refer to people that follow them on social media as clients, and what credentials do they even have out there? And even another thing too is I don't like this approach of like people talking about this lifestyle, this diet, whatever you want to call it, like they're speaking law, like they're speaking something from a science book, like they're speaking something from a holy text. Let's be real honest on this raw vegan diet. There's not enough data out there to draw strong conclusions. Or there's not been research done on big enough groups. Now I eat like this. I eat a very high raw vegan diet. I eat mostly raw foods. But once again, I like to keep things straight in my head, and I understand a little bit about the scientific process. And a lot of the stuff out there that people try to go, this is the fact, this is the gospel, this is how it is anecdotal. And it's stuff that hasn't been, tried out on a large enough test group or studied over enough years. So all I'm saying there is I'm not, throwing the diet under the bus and saying, oh, I'm about to leave this. I'm just saying you just kind of really have to get in there and do the work and apply it to your body and see how the way you're eating is going to work with your body. Not my body, not her body, not his body, but your body. And that's a thing out there too. When I say question everything, I don't mean go into social media and just put it out into the atmosphere. I've said that before. I think that's the silliest way in the world to actually learn anything, to really learn anything. Now there's exceptions to that. There's sometimes when, you'll post something and you can get a quick answer and an efficient answer and a right answer in, say, a Facebook group or commenting on something. But what has worked for me, I don't like the back and forth. I don't like distraction. I don't like and also too, we live in a time, whether it's politics, religion, food, everything is so argumentative. And nobody out there wants to concede a point. Like, it's almost like everybody's fighting to win. Everybody's arguing to win instead of arguing to get to the truth of something. So the way I have always liked to do this thing, and I like to just tell everybody, there's this beautiful thing out there called Google, if you haven't heard of it. Google is like this. Google is like magic. You know, sometimes it's been around so long we take it for granted. We can literally find out anything we want to. My roommate and I were talking about something just obscure and random last night, and I said, isn't this a great world? You know, like 35 years ago, we would have to just be like, well, I think this, I think this. Now you just type it in. But that's what I've done for these past 10 years. I've used Google and I've used YouTube. YouTube's a great search engine too. I kind of use them back and forth when I'm trying to get some information on something. I just sit down at Google and I type in, I don't just type in terms, like you can type in full questions. If you want to, talk to Siri, talk to Alexa, they'll get it up for you quicker. But you can go in and research these subjects at your pace. I do better actually reading things than just hearing things over and over. You can read them 2, 3, 4 times, and you absorb them like that. You absorb them with no distraction. Now, one thing I recommend too, I've always recommended this, is when you're watching YouTube videos, when you're looking up things on Google, when you're reading books, when you're reading resources, read the opposite opinion of whatever you're reading. Read a lot of different things out there. There's this bias that as humans we can very quickly, and especially like this where I said like so many people have their guru or their one person in this. Everybody seems to be like this in general. We tend to find something that initially, I like this, I like the message here, or it makes sense to me on the surface level. And we tend to just reinforce it by only listening to, reading, and consuming content which agrees with that one way of thinking. And I say, when it comes to this raw vegan diet, I have looked at a lot of different things. You see the feasters and the fasters and the people that don't eat and somehow, according to them, live on about 300 grapes a year. That's all. And then you have other people over here that just gobble down fat, or they do this or that. And I've just seen all these things, but I like to read about them, and I like to understand why the person who's talking about it is doing what they're doing. But there is no absolute source. There is no absolute source, and that's not arrogance thinking I'm the smartest person out there. It's just not me putting my power into anybody's hands, and definitely not putting the decision making of what I'm going to put into my body to be healthy on other people. I got no guru in the raw vegan world. In fact, I couldn't even tell you the last time I've watched a raw vegan video. There's people, like I say, that I respect out there. There's people like Lissa and Nate that I get crazy amounts of recipes from. Well, not crazy amounts, I'm kind of lazy. I just seem to make the same ones that I really like over and over. But yeah, there's a handful of people out there. I like the way they're doing it, and it's not me throwing shade at anybody. It's just I don't need them to process or tell me how I need to be eating. And you need to do the same thing for you. And this is like in anything in life. Obviously, I'm talking about the raw vegan diet right now. But it's like anything. Don't give your power away on anything. Know why you're doing everything. Don't blame. And this is something else too. I've heard for years, and people talk about irresponsible content, or some person, they get mad because they followed somebody. I've seen this a lot of times over 10 years. Somebody starts following somebody new on YouTube or their content on Instagram or whatever. They do, and the person's not giving the best advice out, but they blame the person, not themselves. It's always on you. I don't care what you see on this little magic box called YouTube. I don't care what somebody tells you to do. You ain't sorry. In my book, I'm not going to accept it when you blame them. I'm always going to blame you for what you take your two little hands and put in your mouth for what you do, and that's responsibility. And most people just don't want to take responsibility out there today. They give up their power. But like I say, hey, who knows? Maybe you're not interested in eating raw at all. Maybe you're whole food plant-based. Maybe you don't eat plant-based at all, but just make up your decisions because you know why. Have your own why. Don't do it because of my why. Don't look to my why. Just, But having said that, I'm not discouraging you. In fact, I'm encouraging you to check out as many different people, as many different ideas, as many resources as possible out there. Try them out. See how they feel. Be patient. Give them enough time. That's a big one too. Is a lot of times people do something they're like, well, I did this for 2 weeks and nothing worked. Well, you're not going to change your whole body in 2 weeks. So anyhow, that's it. Basically, I just want you to have the power. I'm starting to ramble now, so we will wrap this one up. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I'm probably going to have some odd days this week since I missed Monday and I missed Friday. I'll probably have 2 or 3 more videos out this week. So, peace.